Dubonnet Red in style. Splashes of red over chunks of ice. Drink it long with lemonade or tonic. Add a dash of gin or vodka. You and your Dubonnet Red. So deliciously cool. Oh, so true. Now you're probably wondering why I'm sat here reading a Good Housekeeping magazine from August of 1984. 75p, bargain. You may as well ask why I do anything on this channel, because it is just a load of nonsense really, isn't it? But this magazine, by the way, that's my friend Ryan on the front. He still looks that good. He still does his hair that way. And I'm pretty sure he's still got those earrings. Looking fabulous for his age. But there's a very interesting article in this magazine, which I have to say I stole from a doctor's surgery, probably in about 1991. They had a 7-year-old magazine in the doctor's surgery in 1991. It's mental. But there's a very interesting article in here about vacuum cleaners that shows a very interesting vacuum cleaner in said article about vacuum cleaners. And I wonder if that might have something to do with what I've got in this box. Probably. Let's check out the article first. And here's the bit of the magazine that we are interested in. Filling the vacuum. Vacuum cleaners come in all shapes and sizes, often designed for a specific purpose or type of home. GHI tested a comprehensive selection and reports on efficiency, ease of use, and suggests the type you need for your lifestyle. So it starts off here with these handheld machines. So we've got a Polko Cadet, Polko Commander, a mini vacuum cleaner, that's probably for tables, a Polko Scout, I think that's for the car, and a Bifco, probably for the car as well. I'm not sure. I'm not going to read all this, but it gets into the interesting stuff here. So we go into like the cordless handhelds. Then we've got the cylinder machines here. And we've got the AEG Electronic TI, the Goblin 1000E, which is the Omni. We've seen this machine. I've got, I think that's the green one I've got. The Miele 240i, I think that's probably, is that S240i? I think it should probably be S240i. The cost of the Electrobrush alone was £45 in 1984, which is utterly mental. And then we've got the lovely Philips P74. £85 that was. That's a pretty good price. I think next we then go on to the uprights. Oh no, we've got like the mini cylinders. So we've got the Hitachi Stowaway, Mulinex Petivac, Mulinex Handyvac, and the Hoover Porta Power. There's the Hotpoint that we've seen on the channel. This is the Hotpoint Universal Electronics. So that would have been the brown one. £90, £79.90 if you Partex your old cleaner. Toolkit is £18 extra. Next up is the venerable Electrolux 560 Electronic, and of course the Hoover Turbo Power, which would have been very new to the market at this point in time. That's the Autoflex version at £89.95. God, that's so much money in 1984. But then we come to this page. Now this is interesting, because we've got some unusual machines here. We've got an all-way central vacuum cleaning system. The Kirby Heritage, which was £430 in 1984. Amazingly, the Dyson Cyclone at 250 quid. 250 quid, that's just mental. I mean, yeah, the Kirby's a lot of money, but the price of that Cyclone is just mental. And finally, the VAX Valet, about £120. Now, this is, I think, the first time that the VAX machine appeared in a magazine. And I'm just going to read you a little bit here. The VAX Valet is a vacuum cleaner and carpet shampooer in one unit. As a dry vacuum cleaner, it performed quite well. Blah, 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 blah. You could clean further from the wall socket than any of the other cleaners. The VAX cleaner costs about £120 from electricity boards and selected department stores. VAX Appliances Limited, Hampton Lover Industrial Estate, Kidderminster Road, Droitwich, Worcestershire, WR9ONX with a phone number. Interesting. £120 in 1984. Now that is model 101, which leads me nicely on to what I've got in my box. Well, frankly, you couldn't ask for a better segue than that, could you? It's almost a professional channel. Almost. A country mile between professional and this channel. But anyway, what's in this box? What's in the box? Well, I think you probably already guessed what's in the box. God, it is really heavy. So let's get it open and check it out. Now, I saw this because it was posted on my funny Facebook group. Where are you? There you are. As being for sale on eBay. It was £45 plus £19 postage. And I realised when I saw it that it was pretty much the original machine. It was the original hose, original rods, original floor tool, original bucket, which is most unusual. And I'll tell you why. But I should stop waffling and just get this open really, shouldn't I? So we can see what we've got. Oh, I hope it survived, because they were a little bit fragile. Even when they were new, they were fragile. But let's see what we've got. Right, I think I'm going to have to put this down on the deck and start putting stuff out. Okay, so we've got a load of carpet underlay and a load of foam. That's pretty good. Look, underlay. Only about foam. Smells funny. Okay, let's get rid of this foam. Oh, this is going to be a nightmare to recycle. Oh, I think we might be all right. I think the machine might have survived. Oh, okay, yeah, right, fine, yes. Yeah, that's definitely the original floor tool. I haven't seen one of these. 30 years? Must be 30 years. Unfortunately, it is a little bit broken. You see there, it's cracked. And the plastic's busted. They're very much like goblin rods. They're like light aluminium. They're not steel. They're very light metal. But those ends are very goblin-esque. But that's definitely the original rod and the original floor tool. That's really good. That's really the reason that I bought it, because it was so original. Oh God, it's very difficult to get into. There we've got another rod. There we go. Oh, it's a bit dusty. We've got it's got a bit of sheet there. Right, pull this all out. Yeah, oh, bloody hell. Yeah, they packed pretty well, I've got to say. And the original hose. Actually, now I look at it, I'm not sure that is the original hose. It might be. That looks like a pattern hose, actually, which is unfortunate, but it'll clean up. That's definitely correct. That's definitely the right machine end. I have to check the leaflets and see. That could be. Yeah, it could be. I close that. Yeah, it might be. Yeah, not sure on that. But that end's definitely right. And then we have the machine itself. I don't think anything's broken off, which is fantastic. So there we go. Look at that. And you're probably going to go, what? It's VAX. It's VAX. Just a VAX, Steve. But yeah, whatever. But it's the first VAX. It's the Valet, as shown in Good Housekeeping in August 1984. This is VAX model 101, the very first VAX, and that's why I bought it. And that is so cool, because I have not seen a 101 in more years than I can possibly recall. Wow, look at it. That's so cool. This will come up really nice, guys. This will look utterly beautiful. And what is really cool about 101, 800 watts, 800 watts, it wasn't 1,000 watts then, it was 800 watts, wow, is the bucket. So just let me unclip. It'd be good to have a look inside, actually. Let's see. Oh God, yeah. Oh, yeah, typical usual VAX, utterly filthy. It's got its little filter still, its little motor filter. that's all in place. Nothing's cracked, which is great. And even the edges of the handle are still in place. Very unusual, very unusual. These machines crack and break for a pastime. Then we have the central filter, again, utterly covered in dust. I'm gonna have to, I need to turn this on, or it's gonna be very dusty. I might just turn the motor unit on actually, and then we'll see it running properly when I've given it a good clean. I think that's the original cloth bag, you know. I think that might be. It's got a lovely amount of dirt in there. It's utterly filthy. Look at that. That should be like a light grey colour, almost like a cream colour. Imagine the colour of the bags in the Electrolux cylinder machines. That's what colour that should be, and this is like a dark, nasty, horrible, dusty grey. And oh, this always used to happen. The seal's gone around the bag throat, and what happens is the machine end of the hose comes in through the bucket. Someone's put some string on that. That's really weird, and it kind of interfaces like that into the bag throat. And what happens is, because the seals break on the bag throat, the dirt just leaks, the dust and dirt just leaks around the bag throat, and then it just clogs up the whole machine. Oh, I've got some stories I could tell you about these. But this is really the most surprising thing. Now, can you see that? Look, can you see me through that bucket? It's an opaque bucket. That is unbelievable. Look at that. You can actually see through it. That is what signifies that this is a very smelly original VAX bucket. That is so cool. And look at the orientation of the casters as well. So there's 4 casters, 3 on the back, 1 on the front. Again, original bucket. That's the very first style that VAX did. This is so unbelievably rare. It is a rare vacuum cleaner, and I know it's just a VAX, but it's model 101, and it's always important. The first of its kind in this game that we play, this collection malarkey. Anything that is the first of its kind, I think anyway, is important. Just looking at this here, this takes me back. Now, I tell you what, back in 91, when I first started working in Jeff's shop when I was 12, we couldn't move for VAXes. We couldn't move for them. They were, oh God, you'd get 1 per day in to be fixed. They went wrong all the time because they weren't particularly good vacuum cleaners. VAX utterly nailed the marketing on their machines. They nailed it, and it was so clever. All this the world's only vacuum cleaner that washes, all that nonsense. It was so clever, and it was such a gimmick as well. But people bought them in their droves, in their thousands, in their millions. They used, oh God, they were so popular. And of course, they used to go wrong all the time. And one of the most common problems with it was the seals. It's got 3 seals on it, 4 really, 4 seals, and the seals just break down. They just wear out. First seal is this ring here that stops the machine from blowing air back into the bucket. That just it's like a foam, and it kind of just it gets stuck in the. Sorry, it's quite dusty. It gets molded into this shape over time, and then the air starts to leak past it. Secondly was this big rubber ring seal here. This one hasn't done it actually. They tended to go hard and shrink, so they didn't seal particularly well against the side of the outer ring of the filter unit. So you could change that as well. And then the final most common one was this really tiny seal that runs all the way around the edge of the filter unit. Now these were by far the worst. This one is just virtually gone, which you would kind of expect after 38 years. It's a 38-year-old VAX, for God's sake. I mean, bloody hell, it's amazing. Yeah, it's just gone, and it's as flat as a pancake. There's virtually nothing left of it. And I tell you what, putting the seals back on these back in the day was a nightmare. You needed so much patience for it, and you had to get it precisely right. The worst bit was coming around this edge here. So you've got a turn there, a turn there, a turn there, and a turn there. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 turns to get round, and it's got to be exactly right, because if you're out by 1 millimeter, when this squashes against the bucket, it pushes it out, and you get an air leak on it. Oh God, the number of times. Oh, I need therapy for that. That was, yeah, God, it was shocking. Happy days of doing VAXes back then. But yeah, you used to get seal kits. So you used to buy a kit of seals, and it definitely had those 3 in it. I'm not sure if it had the bag throat seal. I think actually you had to supply and fit a new bag throat. Yeah, I don't think you can take that apart. I mean, this is really gone. You see how brittle and hard that's gone. So that has definitely failed. Not sure how we're going to get around that. Might not be able to use the cloth bag with it, but we'll definitely clean it up. I can't believe how disgusting that bag is. That really is vile. And this filter too. Look at the state. That should be a nice bright cream colour. So I'm definitely not going to run it as one unit. I think I will run it just as the motor unit, but I'm going to take this filter out as well and pop that in there. So let's get the motor unit back up. This will look so nice when it's done. It really will. I'm going to I'm going to go to town on this and give it a real clean, because I love it. I honestly, I love it. And you probably think I'm mad for loving a VAX, but I can't help it. Look at the cable. Now look, they all did this. Look how kinked that is, if I can get it. Look at that. They all did this. There's something with this cable that makes it go like this. This is not how it left the factory. It would have been perfectly smooth, but they kink like hell. The second most common fault with all of these Mark 1 VAXes was flex failure. The first most common was the seals. So the machine would run, but you'd get no suction. The second most common was the machine just wouldn't run at all, and it's always because of the down flex, because they used this really odd flex on it. Don't know why. It wasn't particularly hard to change it, because there's a panel here. It's 3 screws, and you're into the terminal block, and you can change it relatively easily. But it was a bit of a faff because it's 3 core, so you've got an extra core to wire up. You had to wire a plug on. There's quite a lot of cable on this particular machine. I'd like to save this if I can. I'm dubious as to whether or not it will work. And I have just noticed that there's quite a lot of carbon dust. You see that there? There's quite a lot of carbon dust around the cooling area. So what's the machine doing? I should try and remember. I think it's sucking in air from the top and blowing it out the bottom, because it's a bypass motor because it's wet and dry. So it's sucking in at the top and blowing out at the bottom. So you would expect to see the carbon dust. Now, whether or not this motor has survived, bearing in mind I don't think they had a ball race top bearing. I think it might have been a sleeve bearing. Might have been, not sure on that. Been a while since I've been inside one. We will check it out if I can remember how to take them apart. It's been a long time. Anyway, let's see if it works. Let's plug it in. Bang! Have we got a light? Oh yeah, look. Light's on. The third most common fault with these original VAXes was that the motor used to go down to earth. And I've rarely seen this on other wet and dry cleaners, but on the VAXs, you would start the machine, turn it on, it would run, and then it would run for probably about 5 minutes until it got warm, and then, bang, it would blow the trip. It would trip the earth on it. And it's such a strange thing because it doesn't start as low earth, but when it warms up, it goes to low earth. And I sat here thinking now, what other machines did that? And I cannot think of any. It was only the VAX. Only the VAX did that. And it's really frustrating because I've never worked out why that was. It must be something to do with the field coil. It can't be the armature. I doubt it was the armature. It must be the field coil. The insulation must be breaking down in the field coil. And when it gets hot, it must expand. And then, yeah, short out and trip the earth. It's very odd, very odd. Right, okay, I'm really dubious about turning this on. I really am. Let's see. I can't believe that. I cannot believe that. That sounds absolutely amazing. A bit dusty. I cannot remember the last time I heard a VAX sound that good, let alone one that is 38 years old. That's amazing. Wow. Okay, well, I am genuinely surprised by that. I have to say, I am absolutely amazed. I never thought it would sound that good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on eBay. I'm going to see if I can order a seal kit for it. We'll change the seals if I can. And also, I don't know if I can find a bag for it, a new cloth bag. I'll probably wash that one. But don't want to put it in with my underpants. That's a bit, ugh. Yeah. And that bag throat, yeah. I do have some paper bags. I'm sure I do have paper bags that will fit this machine. So we'll probably just have to use it with a paper bag. I will order a filter set as well. So filter set, seal set, see if I can get a bag throat. I'll try. And when they've all come, we'll take it into the workshop and we will restore this most special of VAXs. So there we go, everyone. That is the 1984 VAX Valet. £120 in 1984, which is probably the equivalent to £500 now. I would estimate that, yeah, it's almost 40 years ago, isn't it? So we're probably looking at about 500 quid. That's £500 of your hard-earned money on a VAX Model 101. Wow. Okay, there we go. That's it for this video. Hope you've enjoyed that. Hope you've enjoyed looking at this machine. I'll put my teeth back in. And we will definitely see it again. And I'm really looking forward to actually using it too. That's going to be great fun. Don't forget to do the usual, commenting, subscribing and liking, because I always love hearing from you guys. And yeah, me and the VAX will see you in a future video. You take care. Bye.